Hello, I am Brian Hunter. I'm the Assistant Professor of Entrepreneurship and Marketing at LaGrange College in the Department of Business and Nonprofit Studies, and I'm going to be your professor for economics online this semester. And what our main focus is going to be on in this class is going to be introductory economics class, looking at the basic principles of labor economics. So our discussions will cover these principles as they relate to individual members of society and how they apply to society as a whole. The course over 7 weeks will also cover the basic principles of economic behavior, which are fundamental to the study of business management and organization, as they're vital to personal growth and financial success in your future. To be an effective manager, a discerning consumer, and a contributing citizen, you're going to have to be able to apply your understanding of these economic concepts to situations that are requiring economic rational choices. We can't be awake without making economic choices. So the overriding objective of this course is for you to come to an understanding in economic terms in a very short amount of time as to why we make the choices we do, why a business acts the way it does, and how all of us are affected by the choices that businesses, the government, and consumers make. We're going to do this by looking at 3 main questions of economics. What gets produced, how is it produced, and for whom is it produced? Our schedule is, as I said, over 7 weeks, going to be that by 11 p.m. on Monday nights, I have everything posted for you for the week. And then all of your assignments are going to be due Sunday night at midnight or 11 p.m. So I'm going to put it up that it's due at midnight in case you have technical issues, but you should shoot for 11 p.m. as your deadline. Our class is going to be consisting of 100 points in total over these 7 weeks, and each week you'll have an assignment that's going to be worth 10 points that's related to that week's topic. You'll also have a forum post that'll be worth 5 points that will allow you to answer some questions and share your thoughts with your classmates. And okay, so you can see on Connect, if you go to Connect, it'll look like this, where it says Introduction to Economics 2201. And each week on the left-hand side, it will have, week 1 and then the topic for the week. So if you click on that, under that you'll see your forum post and your assignment for the week. So first, if we look at the forum post, this week what you should do is you're going to be using the tool that is from the Opportunity Atlas, available at this link right here. And you're going to be examining the question of which neighborhoods in America offer children the best chance to rise out of poverty. This tool uses 20 million anonymously collected individual data points which follow children from their childhood age all the way up to their mid-30s. And we want to see how does affluence and poverty go back to the neighborhoods where people grew up. So in order to do this, I'll kind of give you an example here. You're going to go through 4 parts of this, which total to 5 points with 1 opportunity at a bonus point for sharing your thoughts with your classmates about their work that they came up with. It's going to start off by, you're going to look at the United States as a whole and tell me what you see about the distribution of household income. So that's part 1. If we look at the tool here, it will come up for you looking like this, and you just need to, this is basically what I just described to you. Once it's loaded up, you will click on this link right down here. It's taking its time. Okay, so you're going to click Begin Exploring. And it's telling you, first off, to think about where you want to look at, what you want to examine, and the type of demographics that you want to focus on. Okay, so it's specifying where is point 1, part 2 is what you're looking at, and part 3 is all these demographics up here. Okay, so if we look at this, this is as the United States as a whole, and my face is in the way on this little view from the camera here, but on the bottom right side it's showing from lower incomes to higher incomes across the country, and it's set right now currently to low income parents of all races and all genders. So you can toggle through these as you need to fill out your forum post. But off to the left, we see that for LaGrange in Alabama and Georgia, it can tell where I'm sitting currently. The average household income is $27,000, and the incarceration rate of those people in jail is around 3%. The median rent for the years 2012 to 2016 was $800, and the job growth rate was almost flat. Okay, we can zoom in if we want to, or we can type in a more local situation. So I'm going to look at where I'm from, which is Mill Creek, Indiana, and click on that. That zooms into where I'm at in Indiana. It took me in a little bit too close. I'm going to back it out a little bit, and I can see from my geographic area that I am most familiar with, where I went to high school and grew up, all the different regions. Okay, so anything that's darker red in this case is a lower household income. If it's brighter yellow, that's a little bit more money, and blue is the richest people. These are the people that live right on Long Beach, right along the beach near Chicago. So I can toggle through high income, middle incomes, or races: black, white, Hispanic, Asian, and American Indian. And you can see how these are changing as I toggle through. Okay, so that's just for you to do parts 1 and 2. You can see what you notice about all those arrangements. Then what you'll do for part 3 is to switch the outcome. So it starts off as household income. That's what we're looking at, is how much money people are making, and that's what it's specifying over here on this bar and what it's showing in the picture. We want to change this to something else. Okay, so if I want to see something like the number of children, it's telling me that data is unavailable for the current selection. So I'm going to have to try something else, or else zoom into a nearby area where information is available. Okay. So it's giving me some options. It's telling me that the number of children in these areas, if there are more children, like in this case it's up to 1.4 thousand in the darker blue area, and there are fewer kids in like the rural areas over here, which makes sense. If you're familiar with the area that you're looking at, it should make sense as you look at it. Okay, so you're going to play with that a little bit, and then you're going to specify what it is that you notice as you change through the different races, and you can play with the gender between male and female, okay, and see what happens for all these outcomes. And again, this is across the entire United States, so you can pick any region that you want to look at, somewhere you're thinking about moving or somewhere that you've lived, and just see what it is that the government data tells us. Okay, so finally you have your post up as a forum, and then you can comment on your classmates' work, try to put some thought into it, and if you do well on that, I'll give you a bonus point for the week. Okay, so that's your forum post. You also have an assignment which looks at the 3 questions of economics. So for this, you're asked to ultimately design a utopian society, and a utopian society is somewhere that people have a peaceful life and there's no war and everything's clean and everyone's healthy and they live for a very long time and technology is readily available and useful and scientific discoveries are numerous and everyone is happy and as healthy as they could be. This is the type of thing you might see in a movie that usually doesn't exist in real life for everyone. But we're going to have you come as close to as possible for you to design your own society by answering the 3 questions of economics, as I mentioned earlier. What should we be producing? How should we be making it? And for whom are we making it? Okay. So part 1 of this assignment is for you to look up and see what a utopian society is and provide 5 examples of historical attempts of people trying to create utopian societies. You can just say, who were they, where were they, what were they trying to do, how did they try to do it, when did they try to do it? Something like this, okay? Try to find 5 examples of that. Make sure you're citing your sources, of course. And then, part 2 for this is choose one of those attempts that you found in part 1 and make sure you're answering all these questions. What did they believe in? What did they do? Where did they do this? Who did they involve in their attempts? And what do you think about what they did? Okay. Part 3 is for you to design your own utopian society. So in your society, what should be produced? And in your society, how should these products and services be produced? And in your society, who's going to be receiving these products and services? Okay. To give you a better background, if you're not familiar with utopian societies at all, you can watch this video. It's from a TED Talk from a couple of years ago, and it will give you more familiarity with the types of design and arrangements that are put into cities. Okay. Finally, you should be citing all your sources using MLA format, and Purdue has an online writing lab with the link provided here to give you instructions of, depending on what source you're using, where that citation should be placed and how it should look. So that's where we're at for the week. Make sure that by Sunday at 11 p.m. you have your work up for your forum post and for your assignment, and then I will have the following week's content up by 11 p.m. or midnight on Monday, okay, for you to work on it for that week. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to having a great class with you. Thank you.